What's up, guys? It's Celeste, and I went to my very first Pride celebration this weekend in Orlando, and I had so much fun. I got all kinds of cool swag, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that and talk to you a little bit about the celebration and what it was like. And then I took a whole bunch of video during the parade, so I'm just going to kind of like splice that together just to give you kind of a sampling of what it was like. I unfortunately wasn't able to record the whole thing because I was just using my phone, and it actually died like partway through the parade, so I wasn't even able to get like a little bit of each float or anything. So I will first of all just tell you how cool it was to be there and just be surrounded by so much love and acceptance and everything. Like, especially this week, it was really comforting and I don't know, just like a nice escape, I guess, from all of the like depressing stuff that's gone on this week. There were a few like people with t-shirts and signs and stuff like that, like in protest of Trump and things like that. But for the most part, it was really easy to kind of like not think about the election too much and just kind of escape from that. And like I said, just be surrounded by positivity and support and everything. So I've always had like friends of different sexualities and more recently genders and stuff, but I've never been around that many queer people at once, and it was really amazing. It was just so wonderful just to like go and walk around and just see all the different people and all the different expressions and people with all kinds of like either cool or funny t-shirts and people in like full costume that they made, like rainbows everywhere, and I don't know, just like all kinds of cool stuff. People in drag and, all that kind of stuff. People of all kinds, like families, people, like young people, older people. There were people of like all races and religions and lots of different gender expressions and identities being displayed. Like there were people with like the flags. They would get like the huge flags of different identities of either sexuality or gender and like wear them as capes and stuff or like wrap them around their shoulders. And so that was really cool, like to see people, kind of like showing like their pride for their particular sexuality or gender. And I was really happy to see that there were so many different identities being displayed, because I've heard at other Pride celebrations in the past, and this was, years ago, that they mostly were, fixating kind of on the G and L parts of the acronym. So it was really nice to see that there was, really it was, I never felt at all like I didn't belong there or anything. And of course there were a lot of allies too. There were people wearing t-shirts and having signs and stuff that indicated that they were allies. And so it was really nice just to see like all the different people and companies and everything that came out to celebrate. So that part was cool. And also just seeing like the turnout of all the participants as far as vendors and people that had booths, companies and things like that. There were a lot of like smaller local organizations and vendors and stuff like that. But then there were also like huge corporations, like a lot of huge corporations took part, not just having booths, but in the parade. And you'll see a little bit of that in the footage that I got from the parade. But I got some kind of cool swag from some of the companies. So so just to show you like some of the companies that were involved in this Pride event in Orlando, Universal Studios, which of course they have the theme park here in Orlando, and of course the other theme park in Orlando, Disney. EA, which is Electronic Arts, video game company, if you don't know. They had these temporary tattoos and then also wristbands that say EA United Through Play. So that was pretty cool. And then Target. I don't know if you can really see these very well. I can't really use the the autofocus on my camera while I'm recording because the motor is really loud and it's really annoying. So hopefully these will be in focus as long as I keep them sort of close to my face, which is what I've manually focused on. But and then there's Gap, and then this was an organization called well, the button says everytown.org, but I think the organization's booth was it was like Mothers Against, what was it called? Gosh, I should really have looked this up before, but it's basically like a gun control group that was started by mothers, like a group of mothers, but anybody can join. So they had these buttons that they were giving out. And then this, which I showed at the beginning, it was just a fan, which was very helpful during the event because, yes, even though it is November here in Orlando, it's still pretty warm. It's starting to cool off a little bit, but during the event, it was like, I think it got up to like 80 or 80 something degrees. So it was really nice to have this fan out there in the sun. But yeah, so that was from the like Tourism Bureau of Orlando. There were also a lot of tributes to the Pulse victims, including in the parade. There were several groups that had signs or things that they were carrying to commemorate all of the different victims of the shooting. So that was really touching. It was kind of difficult at sometimes to see so much of that and think about that was, you know, only 6 months ago, not even 6 months ago. But it was really nice to see here in Orlando everybody coming together and, you know, not letting that hold the community back at all. And in fact, the overall Orlando community has really, I think, done a really good job of kind of like showing their support and that they want us to be part of the community. And then I also got a nice little collection of flags going here. I got this from the parade. Not sure who was handing these out, but somebody in some group in the parade was just like running down, handing these out to people in the crowd. And then this one got from Walgreens, which was pretty cool. At their booth, they were just giving these out for free and also giving out flu shots. I didn't get one of those, but yeah, so that was cool to see Walgreens there. And CVS was also there. And then I bought 2 flags, which I had kind of like been planning to do when I went because I figured they would have them there. And I've been wanting to get some to probably put up in my office here or something, but I got the asexual flag and the genderqueer flag. They didn't have the non-binary one, which I can't even remember what the colors are on that. I really should know that, but this is the genderqueer one. So I pretty much like identify as genderqueer and non-binary and gender fluid, like whatever. I don't know. Like I said in a previous video, I don't really have like a perfect word for my gender yet. So yeah, so I have these now and I will be putting them up somewhere. Haven't decided where yet. I don't know if they're going to be in view of the camera. I also might be changing like where I do the videos pretty soon, hopefully, because I'm hoping that I'm going to get that light that that I have on my wish list for my birthday. And if not that, then hopefully Christmas at least. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to either set up somewhere else or like move around so I'm not in the same spot in every single video, because like this stuff is pretty cool, but it's a little bit distracting. I think it's a lot of colors because I like lots of colorful 80s and 90s toys, as you can tell. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun. It was really cool, just like I said, to be surrounded by all those people. And I also was able to spend most of the time that I was there with one of my best friends from like all of childhood and adolescence. Like I've known her since kindergarten, and we became best friends in middle school. We had like a little group of several best friends that we kind of, it was like our little clique or whatever, and she was one of my best friends through all of middle school and all of high school. And even though we both live in the Orlando area, I have not seen her in like 5 years, which is ridiculous. I know that's ridiculous. Yeah, it's, I really don't do much social stuff and haven't done much social stuff for a long time because of my depression and anxiety and very high tendency to get migraines every time I do anything. I did get a migraine at the Pride celebration, but thankfully with medication and perseverance, I was able to get through it and everything. But yeah, that's one reason that I don't do as much stuff as I would really like to, because I tend to be triggered for migraines like by pretty much everything. Like it's really ridiculous. But anyway, I don't want to go into all that too much, but that's the reason why I haven't seen her in so long. And so it was really nice to spend the day with her and meet her adorable child, her adorable baby girl. Her husband is actually another guy that I went to school with. So he unfortunately wasn't there, but it was really nice to get to meet their, like I said, adorable, precious little baby who was just the most fun to hang out with. So it was really cool to see her reactions to everything in the parade as well. And I also randomly ran into a guy from one of the top surgery groups that I'm in on Facebook. And it was kind of funny because he was walking, like we were walking opposite directions, so I saw him coming toward me, and I recognized his chest tattoo, and I was like, wait a second, I think I've seen that before, because he actually went to one of the surgeons that I'm considering. So I obviously looked at a lot of results pictures, and his tattoo is particularly like memorable. So so I went up and introduced myself and everything, and got to talk to him a little bit about his experience with the surgeon and see the results in person and everything. So that was pretty cool and pretty random, because like there were a lot of people at this celebration, and just to randomly run into somebody like that was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like a random lucky happenstance, I guess. So I'll cut to the parade footage that I got now, and again, this was just like my phone, so it's not like super pro edited or anything. It's just like some little snippets of some of the floats and participants that I saw that I thought were cool. Now, before anybody says anything, I know that you're not supposed to film video in portrait mode, and I don't do that like typically. Like I wouldn't do that if I knew that I was going to be posting all these to YouTube, but I always film in portrait mode on my phone when I'm posting to Instagram, because I always crop it square, and it's a lot easier to hold and kind of frame things square for me in portrait mode. So that's why I always film things in portrait mode. And since I was recording some of this stuff for Instagram, and then I hadn't really thought about like splicing it all together for YouTube at the time that I was making taking some of the videos. So that's why some of them are like that. But I did crop them a little bit. I cropped them to like a 3:4 aspect ratio instead of 60:9. So they're not quite as bad, but just so everybody knows, because I know that you know, people get really really testy about that sometimes. So so yes, I do know that it's not how it's supposed to be filmed for YouTube, but that's why that is the way it is.
the Parliament House. We love you all. We thank you all. We want you to join us tonight. Cat DeLuna will be in the house. Tracy Young will be there. Hey, baby. What's going on? DJ Brianna is at the helm right now. Hey, Mr. DJ. Pull it up on.
So, like I said, I had a lot of fun, and it was really just a really great experience, and it made me want to be even more involved in local stuff. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me sometimes because it tends to end in me getting a migraine, but I want to be more involved, and I want to go to more events like that, and it even as far as like being involved in the community, even not just locally, it kind of made me feel even more like I want to do that more actively than I've done in the past. So that was really nice, and again, like really a good feeling to have at the end of this past week because yeah, I've gone through a lot of emotions since my video that I made on the topic, and I almost kind of regretted posting that video that I made, not because I didn't like, because I was dishonest in it or anything. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, I felt like it was weaker than how I actually felt, just because I wasn't able to really express myself as well as I would have liked. But I decided to go ahead and post it and leave it up because that's what I had. That's what I was feeling at the time. That's what I produced at the time. So that's part of what I'm trying to do here, is kind of just like have a record of how I'm feeling at different times, like whenever I'm creating the videos and posting them and stuff, and not trying to like edit or retroactively change things and stuff like that, because I have a really, I don't know, like that's part of what online stuff, it's like one of the benefits of online stuff, but also something that can be really easy to become like dependent on, kind of like become like too reliant on, I guess. And I really, in making these videos, am trying really hard to make this a thing where I'm not obsessing so much over perfectionism and stuff, because I really have had a very difficult time with that throughout my life. And yeah, so I'm really trying to do that. So that was what I felt the other day. I don't want to get too much into how I'm feeling since then, but I'll just say I feel more energized and more determined, I guess. I feel more like I need to like get up and do something, because you know, for a long time I've kind of like, I don't know, like held myself back and worried too much about like upsetting people, or I don't know, like having to deal with people's backlash and everything. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm gonna like run out and start a riot or anything, but I'm not going to just like take things lying down. So I want to be a part of that, and I feel like I'm more ready to be in that headspace now than I was when I made my last video about this topic. But that's probably all I want to say about that for now. So that about does it for this video. I think I've kind of gone on long enough, but I did really enjoy my first Pride experience and had a great time. I think it was a very well run and organized event. I mean, it was absolutely huge, and for the organizers to be able to put that on and have everything run so smoothly and everything was just very commendable, I think, because you know, that kind of logistic kind of stuff is difficult to work around, especially in the middle of a downtown area, which is also under construction at the moment. So definitely like shout out to all the people that helped organize this event, because it was fantastic. And also want to just quickly thank everybody who has been showing me so much support about these videos. Like, I've gotten so many messages and some really nice comments, and just like lots of support from both people I know and people I don't know. Just, you know, thanking me for making these and telling me I'm doing a great job and stuff, which is really nice and really helpful for me, because I tend to not have a lot of confidence and stuff. So it's really nice to get that kind of feedback and be told that I am like making an impact on people, because that's really what I want to do. That's like really my, like the biggest thing that I want to do in my life is make a positive impact on people, and to be told that I'm sort of doing something that to that end is really meaningful to me. So thank you to everybody who has been watching, and I will see you in the next video.